Hello, everyone. I am Queen Lillie. Welcome back to my live. Yes, I am back. We got a lot to talk about. There's new findings that's going on, you guys. Hold on. I don't know why my light went out like that, y'all. I got to get a new light again. But we have a lot of new findings that's going on in the MAGA Republican Party. Mike Johnson. Oh, Mike Johnson. Grinder, you in trouble, boy. Yeah, Mike Johnson, you in trouble. Hit that like button as y'all come in. Hello, King Allen. I love you. Hit that like button as you all are coming in. Hit that like button. I am Queen Lillie. Welcome to my live. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can send me super chats and super stickers. Also, in my description is my Venmo and my PayPal. So you could bless me in that way as well. Hello, King LaSwan. Hi. Also, if you like to get a membership, there's two different types of memberships. We have the Rubies membership and the Diamonds membership. The Rubies membership is $4.99 and the Diamond membership is $9.99. Get you one tonight. You will not regret it. Even today, I put some new stuff in the memberships that others do not get. They have not seen. So check it out. The members, they haven't checked their member, postings lately. Be sure to check it out. Please go check it out. The new stuff I put in there for y'all today. Y'all, we got a lot to cover. I'm really going to enjoy this about Magic Mike. I'm really going to enjoy what this guy has to say about Magic Mike. Hit the like button, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. Let's get it started in here. I love y'all, and I probably will not go live tomorrow. So that's why I'm going live again today, this evening. I went live earlier, and now I'm going live tonight. I have a new project I'm working on, and it's bill time, honey. First of the month about to come again. I got bills to pay. So I probably will not go live tomorrow, Tuesday, Taco Tuesday I want. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Excuse me, y'all, I'm tired. I've been working so much. Mama is beat down. Y'all Queen is tired, but I'm going to be okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started with some Magic Mike. It seems like the Republican Party is never on one accord. Magic Mike will say one thing, then Trump will say another. Patel says another thing. Bundy may say something different. But right now, it's Cash Patel and Magic Mike saying something totally different. And we're not surprised, are we? So, Mike, someone will be releasing your grinder info very soon. You have until Wednesday, buddy. MAGA Man of DL, y'all. Yeah, but anyway, this right here is about Magic Mike and his claims of the J6ers. See, the thing is, they try to convince us that the J6ers were FBI Democrats. Every time you turn around, it's something different from the MAGA Republican Party, and they just lie so much. And the thing is, they believe they lies. Well, Magic Mike, you better worry about your info from that grinder app, because hey, if you don't do what you need to do before Wednesday, your info from the grinder app is going to be released. Yeah.
Should do. And they have to hold people accountable. We have to ensure that the rule of law applies to everyone. And that's exactly what
everyone except them.
Does the rule of law have to apply to people who stormed the Capitol on January 6th?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. There's new information over the last couple of days about that as well. Apparently, there were 274 FBI agents in the crowd January 6th.
No.
I think the
Cash Patel just brought some enhanced understanding to that. They were sent there to do crowd control because of everything that was going on. It wasn't a false flag operation, as President Trump suggested.
Trump lies and Mike lies.
How do you know that? Right? There's a lot of brand new questions about. Well, and I'm telling you that there's videos and
it's a lie. It was all MAGA Republicans.
Persons, engaged in what involved they had. Did they spur on the crowd? Did they open the gates to allow them in? I don't know. These are questions.
No, he made a statement.
And yes,
he's lying.
There's a lot of investigation and discovery to go forward. We have a select subcommittee, bipartisan, a committee that is reviewing the investigation of the original J6 committee. I mean, a committee investigating the previous committee. Why? Because there was so much bias in the system. And that committee was rigged, I think. And I think my theory is, I've always believed that they got rid of evidence and they hid some of this. So all of it's going to come out. The American people deserve full transparency.
Full transparency,
and that's what
100%.
Congress is working on, and that's what the
And that's what they do not give the American
including
people.
including for the Epstein files, which that will probably come on the floor of the House soon, and we'll have lots of discussions about that. Speaker Johnson, always good to have you here. Thank you so much, sir.
Mike Johnson is corrupted. I could say more, but I'm going to give somebody a chance to let y'all know exactly who Mike Johnson is. The man that once had a black young boy living with him and his wife. What happened to that black young boy? Nobody seems to know. But what we do know about the MAGA Republicans, they are DL. They are down low men. They are mediocre white men that like to get on the grind app. So somebody that gets on that grind app know Mike Johnson's all his business from the grind app. And what is the grind app, y'all? The grind app is a gay male's app. The MAGA Republican men like to get on the grind app and look for some black eggplant. And sometimes they have a little, they get an itch. They want some white men too. But they mostly go on there for the black men. Mike Johnson, you're in trouble, and Americans are not going to save you. We're going to let you ground in your own SHIT, boy. One moment. Wait a minute, no, that's not it. Hold on.
Hey, here's a message for Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Pay attention, bud. This is for Mike Johnson. If you're not Mike Johnson, you can keep scrolling, or you can stay here and listen to what I have to say. Hey, Mike, you have until Wednesday to swear her in. Wednesday. Or I will release your Grindr profile and your IP address. I bring receipts, bitch. You're not going to sit there and actively work against LGBTQ rights and democracy. It is treason. Yeah, I'm calling you out for treason. You have until Wednesday to swear her in and let democracy take its course, or I will release your Grindr profile and your IP address. Connects both to you, Mike. The choice is yours. Do the right thing. Because I'm petty. And I'm not above this bullshit. Go fuck yourself.
Magic Mike, evidently you're not rocking the mic, right? Because some of them don't even bother to tell. But we knew from the Republican convention that the Grindr app was set off. At Charlie Kirk's memorial, the Grindr app crashed again. Why? Because the MAGA Republican men was on there looking for some other men to get busy with. And you know what I'm thinking? Oh, Magic Mike, was you on that app again? Were you? Your mouth isn't tired. Your mouth isn't tired, Magic Mike. You want your bussy bust that bad? You're going to embarrass your wife? Or do you have an open relationship? Because what I'm learning in this world today, a lot of marriages is not sacred. They're not sacred. The husband does what he want to do, and the wife is out there busting it wide open for other men and women. I don't get surprised by anything that is happening in this world today. The MAGA Republicans are the most corrupted cabinet ever in America. One moment.
I think this very well might be the reason Donald Trump is going after Oregon so hard, and surprise, it has to do with Jeffrey Epstein. Let's take a look at what's coming out of the Senate Finance Committee. Secretary Bessent has reportedly refused to give Epstein bank records to Senate investigators, impeding Senator Wyden's follow the money investigation. Senator Wyden is following Epstein's money through various banks. Treasury Secretary Bessent refuses to release them, so Wyden is trying to compel him. These files detail Epstein's transactions totaling at least $1.5 billion. The files also include names of women and girls he may have trafficked, as well as the identities of well-known individuals involved. The bigwig individuals' involvement with Epstein may put them at risk of criminal charges for trafficking or possibly blackmail. The fact that Treasury Secretary Besson is deliberately blocking access to evidence that would possibly hold Epstein's clients accountable is crazy. But I think it's very suspicious that a senator from Oregon is leading a charge to get these bank statements released. And now suddenly Trump is ramping up his attacks on Oregon, trying to intimidate them. It seems like Trump has a pattern of trying to silence or discredit the people who are pushing for Epstein accountability. And that is exactly why Congress and the American people deserve full access to the unredacted Epstein files. This should not be a partisan issue. So I think this very well might be the reason Donald Trump is going after Oregon so hard, and surprise, it has to do with Jeffrey Epstein. Let's take a look at what's coming out of the Senate Finance Committee. Secretary Besson has reportedly refused to give Epstein...
Donald Trump went after Chicago. He went after D.C. Now he's after Oregon. Y'all, Donnie is a joke. He is starting a war with his own states and own country. Because he know he can't win with anything else. He lied about winning 7 wars. Donnie hasn't won anything. He didn't even win the Oval Office. He even owned up that the election was rigged in his favor. He said that Elon must know those voting machines better than anybody. That's what Donnie said. And we know. They all know. Kamala Harris knows. The entire world know that Donnie didn't win.
Just then, we are now learning that at least one of the people killed when Donald Trump ordered boats bombed near Venezuela was likely not a narco-terrorist, as he claimed, but a fisherman, at least according to the man's wife. The New York Times just released an incredible report about the situation in Venezuela. It's called
Treason!
Hope in Venezuela as U.S. warships lurk. And in the piece, they uncover some things that we did not previously know about these attacks. The Times writes, in the state of Sucre on Venezuela's Caribbean coast, the first boat to have been destroyed on September 2nd is widely believed to have been carrying people from the towns of San Juan de Unari and Guairia on a spit of land known as the Paria Peninsula. They add, for years the region had been dominated by cocaine trafficking, according to Rana Rizquez, a Venezuelan journalist who has conducted fieldwork in the area. But migrants, trafficking victims, and government-subsidized Venezuelan gasoline, which can be sold at a higher price in Trinidad and Tobago, just 6 miles away, also leave from this area, she said. In an interview, one woman who identified herself as the wife of one of the dead men said that her husband was a fisherman with 4 children who left one day for work and never came back. So it certainly appears the United States may have murdered an innocent fisherman. A husband and father of 4 claimed he was a narco-terrorist, posted a video of the execution on Donald Trump's account, and then the vice president went ahead and made jokes about it. And this is again why due process matters. It's why we can't just take the word of the administration, allow them to declare someone a terrorist or a drug dealer, and then permit them to kill that person. I'm sure this is only the tip of the iceberg, and we need to find out a whole lot more, but shout out to the New York Times for digging into this, and hopefully we hear more soon. Spread the word and follow along for more.
Subscribe to Midas Touch Network. Everything I show you guys is fair use, great for educational purposes, great research purposes, and great entertainment. And I also throw a little comedy in there because I got to show y'all love, and we got to have a good time. You know I love you. We go together real bad. Yeah, we do. Don't you forget it. I love you guys. It doesn't surprise me that they have unalived an innocent man because that's part of Donnie's character. Charlie Kirk was no mistake, y'all. It was MAGA. It was from the top. So Donnie has unalived people as well. That's war crimes. He needs to be impeached immediately. Again, if y'all like to donate to my channel, y'all can send me super chats and super stickers. Also, in my description is my Venmo, and my PayPal link is in my description as well. So if you want to bless me, you can. Make me happy. I love you. I love all you beautiful kings and queens in my chat, and you know it. One moment. So we're going to listen to a young fellow because he experienced essay, and his father essay his 2 other siblings. So take a listen to this. That's why it is imperative that it doesn't matter if it's Donald Trump, whatever Republican, whatever Democrat. If you essay somebody, MAGA, you must pay the price for your sins and your crimes.
Predators don't just tear into bodies, they torch whole damn lives while the state runs cover with locks and red tape. My father raped 2 of my siblings while my mother sat in the corner and chose silence. I was assaulted as an adult carrying the same sickness of silence. This is not an isolated nightmare. This is America's blueprint. Epstein proved it. Rich men flew in planes, bought children like property, and the government buries the receipts. Less than 1% of the files are public. The rest are sealed tight, so senators, billionaires, bankers, and donors keep sipping wine while survivors choke on trauma. Trump smirks and calls it a hoax. Congress stages sham resolutions, and every hour that cabinet stays shut is another middle finger to the people already broken. The DOJ admits hundreds of thousands are raped or assaulted annually. Teens and young adults carry the heaviest scars. Rain has screamed it for years. The Pentagon logged 8,195 assault reports in fiscal year 2024 and still claims progress, while countless more cases die in retaliation and cover-ups. These numbers aren't statistics. They're a war map showing who gets sacrificed so predators at the top stay untouched. My father survived behind silence. Epstein's circles thrived behind silence. Cops, press, CEOs, senators, and judges still hide behind silence. Every institution teaches the same lesson. Shut your mouth or lose everything. Epstein's files are dynamite, and that's why they're sealed. Full release would expose rot in the two-party duopoly. Both chambers, every donor class, every boardroom, 99% hidden is not caution, it is conspiracy. It's organized, not oversight. Crime with state approval. Every redacted line is another act of violence. Each sealed name is another assault replayed. Delay is the disguise. Collusion is the act. This country cages 2 million poor and working class people, mostly black, brown, and broke, but it won't cage the men who trafficked children on private jets. The government shells out billions to bomb a Venezuelan boat and kill 11, but says survivors.
Oh, I love this guy. I love him.
Expensive. Police get paid to harass immigrants while rape kits rot in warehouses.
Yes.
The system runs on this. It's not broken.
This is America.
Function this way. Silence and secrecy are policy. I lived it when my father destroyed my siblings. My mother looked away and I carried that silence. As an adult, I was assaulted and my pain was shoved into a vault of shame. I see the same machinery now, scaled up, dressed in flags, protected by marble halls. Survivors don't owe mercy. Patience is not owed by survivors. What survivors owe is rage. Rip cabinets open. Dump the files on the streets. Expose every name, no matter how high the pedestal. Smash reputations built on secrecy. Burn the shield they hide behind. I will not stay quiet. Playing along is not an option. Predators won't keep winning just because the government writes silence into the law. Fury is the only answer left, and I've got enough to fuel a war. Predators don't just tear into bodies.
I love that man. I love that man. But Donald Trump don't like people like that. That's powerful when they speak. If you ain't picking up what he putting down on the table, you MAGA too. You just as worse as Donald Trump. Why cover for Donald Trump if he's innocent? Why? If he wasn't getting down with the get down with Jeffrey Epstein, why cover for Donald Trump? because he's not innocent, in my opinion. Donald Trump is a vulture, demonic spirit living on this earth. The Antichrist, if you ask me. MAGA is Satan's little workers. J6ers are Satan's little workers. You ain't doing the Lord's work. You don't even know the Lord. You're doing the work of the Antichrist, Donald Trump, in my opinion. Uh-oh. Can't play music. Sorry about that. So I'm going to read you what it says, okay? Jeffrey Epstein died under Donald Trump in a federal facility overseen by his Attorney General, Bill Barr. The same Bill Barr whose father first gave Epstein access to the kids in a job at the Dalton School when had zero qualifications to teach there. That's what's been alleged that Williams Barr's father did that. I don't put anything past a mediocre white man. It's just in their genes to do the worst to children and women. The Bill Barr who worked at the law firm Kirkland and Ellis, which represented Epstein in Florida case. William Barr, his father, and Epstein. Who worked for Donald Trump? William Barr. William Barr covered a lot of Donald Trump's criminal things he's done and sins. Then he finally got some guts and started speaking up against Donnie Barr, but it was too late by then, William Barr. Bill, it was too late, boy. One moment. Just a moment, everybody. Uh-oh, it's on mute. I apologize. Hold on.
Well, I think this very well might be the reason Donald Trump is going after Oregon so hard and surprised. It has to do with Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, I showed y'all this already. I think didn't I show y'all that already, beautiful kings and queens? I'm a little sleepy. I'm sorry.
Epstein he was obsessed with eugenics and creating his own race.
Perhaps one of the lesser known threads about Epstein was his obsession with secret science.
I desperately want to know why Jeffrey Epstein knew so much about my work.
Hit the like button,
I was
please.
in the Harvard mathematics department. Jeffrey Epstein was absolutely connected to the Harvard math department. I want to know why.
More specifically, his obsession with
Thank
gravity
you.
and propulsion. He would fly physicists
I need
out
more
to his
likes,
island,
everybody.
Kip Thorne, Stephen Hawking, Murray Gell-Mann. On his little St. James Island, he built a temple with occult symbology.
Listen carefully to this.
To see a UFO while on Zorro Ranch.
I saw a UFO when I was there, outside at New Mexico. I went to have a cigarette and I saw a weird, lights flying, and then I had the weird thing waking up in the lab.
It was like he was a front, a global honey trap for secret science, arbitraging the lameness of modern academia and the sexual repression of its scientists.
There's a mural called the Centiles, which is the elite spelled backwards, and it's this big mural of all the different people that were associated. Les Wexner, you can see all the characters. Ghislaine Maxwell is depicted as a dragon biting a child in half. It's all very nasty stuff. And then there's also an antenna
These are some
going
sick
up
people.
with an FBI flag on it, with a flying saucer hanging off the top of it, with Epstein's face inside the window. So it's okay. So who knew, and what was he actually trying to achieve in terms of his own scientific ideas and explorations? Obviously, like I say, he's funding all of these different movements. He knew everyone on the Nobel Peace Prize board. The thing with Epstein was he was obsessed.
I'm going to play that again about Magic Mike. It's imperative that the word gets out because the guy from the Grindr app, he's not playing. So I'm going to play that again. So the message can get to Magic Mike. Apparently he wasn't rocking the mic right. One moment, please.
Hey, here's a message for Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Pay attention, bud. This is for Mike Johnson. If you're not Mike Johnson, you can keep scrolling or you can stay here and listen to what I have to say. Hey, Mike, you have until Wednesday to swear her in Wednesday, or I will release your Grindr profile and your IP address. I bring receipts, bitch. You're not going to sit there and actively
hit that like button, everybody, please.
And democracy. It is treason. Yeah, I'm calling you out for treason. You have until Wednesday to swear her in and let democracy take its course, or I will release your Grindr profile and your IP address.
Release it, baby.
Mike. The choice is yours. Do the right thing. Because I'm petty. And I'm not above this bullshit. Go fuck yourself.
Magic Mike would probably actually try to help himself if he could. Because he freakily. Anybody that's on that Grind app, that tells me a lot about you. You're a super freak. You got a wife at home, but you're on the Grind app looking for men. That's the MAGA Republican Party. They all DL, down low men. Nasty. Just nasty. If you're going to build a man, build a man. And it's okay. And if you want to build a woman, you build a woman. But don't straddle the fence and contaminate that woman's body. Because the back there is nothing but bacteria. So you're going to go stick in some mud, then go home to your wife, and she needs to be made love to. You make love to her and give her an infection because you've been playing back there what somebody's bacteria is. Now you have given her, what, bacterial vaginosis, I guess? I don't know. Magic Mike, you got to Wednesday. Swear the new Democrat Congresswoman in. She won. Why try to make her wait to what, the 14th October after y'all have already voted? No, this is not Russian roulette. You can play with people's lives if you want to. She earned her right to be voted in. You do it for the Republican Party all the time, Magic Mike. Maybe if you keep your mouth off of mics, you can concentrate. Concentrate. Listen, Linda, listen. One moment, please. We're going to listen to something that Jasmine Crockett has to say a moment, okay?
Donald Trump ordered Texas Republicans to rig the next election. They drew my seat off the map. They're gaming the midterms by disenfranchising Black and brown voters, denying our voice and our vote. California, our right to fair representation is in your hands. With Prop 50, you have the power to stop them.
Vote.
Prop 50 levels the playing field with election maps that represent every community. Protect fair representation in
vote, everybody.
States. Vote yes on 50.
Vote yes on 50. Let me tell you something. I never miss a time to vote. I'm that girl for special election, everything. Honey, I get out there and I get my voting in, and y'all know it. I let y'all know. I'm never going to miss voting. My family, my ancestors fought for this. And they succeeded. All the traps y'all set for Black people, we still succeeded. We are a resilient group of people, and you can't take us down. And that's why you haters. You hate us because we don't age like you. You take a 52-year-old woman, put her beside me. I'm 52, never had anything done to my face. She wouldn't stand a chance with this natural beauty that God gave me. I rest my case. One moment.
The Supreme Court is meeting to decide whether or not they're going to take up Ghislaine Maxwell's appeal. Yeah, you heard me right. They're meeting in private today to discuss hundreds of appeals that piled up during their summer recess, including Ghislaine Maxwell's challenge to her criminal convictions for recruiting and grooming teenage girls for Epstein. They're only going to take up a tiny percentage of these appeals and will likely announce a list of those it has agreed to hear later this week.
Somebody get that dog, Lassie.
Met with prosecutors in Florida in which the then U.S. attorney agreed to not prosecute the potential co-conspirators should apply to at least one of the three counts in her case. case. The guy who made this deal was, of course, Alex Acosta, who served as Trump's labor secretary during his first term. A little suspicious. But the legal question is whether the terms of a
somebody get that dog PC
only apply in the district where it was negotiated or also bind to federal prosecutors nationwide. The Justice Department is urging the Supreme Court.
We don't have any doggy tricks over treats over here, honey. We ain't got doggy treats over here.
Superiors if the agreement
go play in traffic.
District, and there's no evidence that this occurred. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, who was Trump's own personal lawyer, met this summer with Ghislaine Maxwell for hours in an encounter that at the time was private. And then, very suspiciously, after she said she knew nothing about Donald Trump's involvement in this case, she was moved to a minimum security prison camp in Texas. The Bureau of Prisons, of course, did not say why she was transferred. I wonder why. Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years in prison after being convicted in 2022 of 3 counts related to her role in assisting Epstein in recruiting and grooming his victims. Some of them were as young as 14 years old. She would befriend the victims and then assist in transporting them to Epstein's residences. She would also sometimes be present when the abuse was taking place, prosecutors allege. And some of the victims have even came forward and said that she was more evil than anybody else.
Somebody get that dog James Mitchell some treats, some doggy treats.
So today the Supreme Court is meeting to decide whether or not they're going.
Ghislaine Maxwell, I pray to God doesn't get out. She's an SA abuser. She ex-trafficked those young girls. And she, too, fondled them and did actual things with them, just like Epstein. See, the MAGA Republicans, they're not good people. They nasty. They do stuff like this. It doesn't surprise me at all. She want to get out, and she's desperate. She's willing to do anything. What I'm talking about, I'm going to show you. One moment. Just a moment, everybody. Supreme Court shockers panics. Oh, it's about Ghislaine Maxwell.
The Supreme Court just lit a new Epstein bombshell, and Donald Trump should be very,
hit the like button.
Nervous, as if he wasn't already. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. I'm David Reddish. Again, coming to you from Palm Springs.
Block that person that said recorded. Block them, and they better not ever come over here anymore.
Chaos in this nation,
anybody speaking against me, block them. I don't need their view.
Accusation of his death. More mass shootings, including one at a Mormon church. See our other videos for more on that. And Trump's disastrous visit to the United Kingdom.
Block Apple 2A. Get rid of that dog.
At this point, it's a frickin' centipede, in fact. I refer, of course, to the Epstein files.
I don't even have any makeup on. Don't confuse me with your white mammy.
In Epstein's crimes.
Block Apple 2A.
That raised some incriminating questions.
We begin with the House Oversight Committee.
If you don't, I'm going to do it.
And our point here is not to get mired in what might be the salacious aspects of this, but rather...
I put them in timeout, whoever it is.
Remember, if nothing else, Donald Trump and his allies repeatedly, publicly denied that what you see with your own eyes here exists. This was from the...
Let me tell y'all something. I'm going to pause this, y'all. I got to give them a whooping, an ASS whooping. Let me tell you something. I fill in my eyebrows and put on lipstick. I have aloe vera on my face. That's something you may better try so you won't age fast. You aging fast and horribly because you probably sit up and drink a bunch of alcohol. And again, if you're a white male or white female, you're going to age faster than me. At 52, I don't have wrinkles. I'm a black woman. I can't help God made me naturally beautiful. Naturally full lips and all. Hate God, not me. Shall I proceed? Yes, indeed. I'm going to throw shade if you keep bringing your ass on here fucking with me.
The Supreme Court just lit a new Epstein bombshell, and Donald Trump should be very, very nervous, as if he wasn't already. Welcome to Occupy Democrats. I'm David Reddish. Again, coming to you from Palm Springs. I promise I'll be back in the studio later today. On to our story.
Thank you, Seven.
The ongoing chaos in this nation, the murder of right-wing wonk Charlie Kirk, the politicization of his death,
DG, get a life.
Including one at a Mormon
Stop urinating on yourself like Trump.
And Trump's disastrous visit to the United Kingdom, one story continues to have legs. At this point, it's a frickin' centipede, in fact. I refer, of course, to the Epstein files and the lingering questions surrounding Donald Trump's knowledge of, or participation in, Epstein's crimes. Earlier this month, a birthday card surfaced that raised some incriminating questions.
We begin with the House Oversight Committee and this image. And our point here is not to get mired in what might be the salacious aspects of this, but rather to leave this up for you to remember. If nothing else, Donald Trump and his allies repeatedly publicly denied that what you see with your own eyes here exists. This was from the Epstein estate. It is allegedly from and signed by Donald Trump, dating back to 2003. The body content, the word many have used about it, the obvious representation of a woman here, the references to youth, young women, or even underage women are all contained here.
You know, if you're a regular viewer of our channel, and if not, subscribe now, you know I've mentioned that card before.
Subscribe to Occupy Democrats.
Pointing out the positioning of Donald Trump's
Occupy Democrats on YouTube.
Your imagination
Thank you.
there. And yes, it gets even more incriminating, so stay with me here. Trump continues to deny writing the card, and FBI Director Kash Patel has vowed to figure out where it came from. We'll see how that goes for him.
The Epstein
estate. This happened.
U.S. House Democrats have released a new batch of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein, and it features some big names. Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, and Steve Bannon are all named in copies of Epstein's daily schedules released on Friday by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee. These daily schedules are from 2014 to 2019 and show that Epstein had plans to meet with Republican donors Elon Musk and Peter Thiel and conservative commentator Steve Bannon.
Well, Jamie Bliss, if hate breeds ignorance, then it's you, baby, because I know you ain't talking about me. Your whole MAGA Republican Party is ignorant and slow and riding the slow bus.
Oh yes, a host of Trump allies were just outed for their associations with Jeffrey Epstein, and in the case of Elon Musk, a trip to Epstein Island. What could he be doing there?
Stop eating boogers, MAGA.
The renewed interest in the Epstein files, the cooperation of the Epstein estate with the House Oversight Committee, much to the frustration of House Speaker Mike Tani Johnson, of course, who still resists the release of all the Epstein files. All the new scrutiny has placed renewed pressure on Donald Trump and Tani Johnson alike to allow for transparency vis-a-vis his own Epstein associations. And now the Supreme Court might just get involved. Recall that Epstein's accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, has thus far resisted sharing her own knowledge of Epstein's activities, in large part due to her serving her own sentence for sex trafficking.
Don't pray for me. I rebuked you.
Considering a decision that could loosen her lips.
You better pray for Donald Trump.
Today, the U.S. Supreme Court is set to vote on whether to take up Ghislaine Maxwell's appeal to overturn her federal sex trafficking conviction. She claims an agreement Jeffrey Epstein made with federal authorities that shielded him from prosecution should have covered her as well. Maxwell is serving 20 years in federal prison.
As she should.
Joining us now to discuss this and more, CNN's chief U.S. Supreme Court analyst, Joan Piskupic, and CNN legal analyst, Carrie Cordero. Joan, you first. This Maxwell appeals case is one of hundreds the justices will be making decisions on very soon. What does that say to you in her appeal, and what will we know if the justices take it?
Sure. In fact, they're meeting right now, Wolf, looking at hundreds and hundreds of petitions were filed over the summer. And when I say that they're reviewing them, I'm using the word reviewing actually quite loosely because they get so many that they only actually discuss around their conference table a handful. So we're not sure whether they're going to just dismiss her appeal out of hand the way they do for the vast majority of them, or whether they'll grant it. And just to remind viewers of what it involves, the non-prosecution agreement will test whether it applies to just the Florida district where Jeffrey Epstein was at the time, or all of the country, because Ghislaine Maxwell was actually prosecuted in New York. And in terms of timing, we could know as soon as the end of this week, or we could know in a couple different weeks, because the justices often will stagger the results of their conference hearing today.
Yeah, good point. Carrie, how do you see the strength of Ghislaine Maxwell's case right now, and how do you expect the justices to rule?
You know, she has a non-frivolous argument when it comes to her claim that the non-prosecution agreement should have covered her. That's because, as Joan was saying, she was prosecuted in a different district. The government is arguing that the use of the words United States in the non-prosecution agreement was what she could, how she was able to be prosecuted, and the Southern District of Florida was saying that it covered anything. And in what actually happened was that she was prosecuted, even though the government says that the Southern District of Florida was the one making the case against her. So she has an argument that other circuits have disagreed about, and so in this particular case, there's what's called the circuit split, and so it's possible that the court will take it up, but there are some unusual circumstances about her particular case in the fact that she wasn't.
They better not let that lady out. She's dangerous. I pray to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, they do not let that lady out. Don't let her. It's bad enough we got Donald Trump in the Oval Office, and he just may be a pedo too, allegedly. Don't let out, Lord. Sooner or later, I don't care if Donald Trump old as Methuselah, lock him up. Y'all yelled that about Hillary Clinton, which her and Bill ain't no better. Lock him up. It just baffles me that not one black person was in that Jeffrey Epstein file that was from the Democrats. They all MAGA Republican and deals, but not one black person. Y'all hate President Barack Obama, but he ain't in the Epstein files. He operating greatness, a Harvard graduate, a clean slate, his presidency. Because we operate in greatness. Y'all don't have that. You get Donald Trump in there, he just a big fat buffoon, a criminal, running nothing but like a mob in the White House. It used to be a place of dignity, respect, and people looked up to the White House. Not anymore. No one does. It's an embarrassment. The entire world is laughing at America. Jesus.
Talk about Erica Kirk. She said she doesn't hate the other side. Then Donald Trump came on stage right after and said, I do hate my opponents. This is the president of the United States, not some comedian. And by the way, it is so incredibly clear that Trump is pulling every lever possible to make sure that everybody consolidates around him ideologically, whether it's with Jimmy Kimmel being pulled off the air, whether it's with Comey. I mean, I did the research. Donald Trump's priorities are so off that he has mentioned Comey on his
This is a young man speaking on Trump and speaking facts.
Well, when you fix inflation, you don't have to mention
Alan Margler, please subscribe to his channel on YouTube.
You're just wrong.
He's mentioned inflation half as many times as Comey on his
because he actually
because his
works on it.
priorities
But
lie
again,
in petty vengeances. Ben, let me finish. I'm just trying to say Donald Trump's priorities lie in petty vengeances, going after Comey, going after Kimmel, and he's not fixing this tariff media. Right now, unemployment is up.
Is the economy good or bad right now?
We're going to leave it there. Tariffs are making it worse. All right. If you want to talk about Erica Kirk, she said she doesn't hate
This young man right here, Adam Mockler, he is everything. I watched this young man and I admire him. And I am probably old enough to be his grandma. But I truly admire this young man. Please subscribe to his channel, y'all. Please do. Uh-oh, it's on mute. I want y'all to pay attention to this. When this supposedly happened to Charlie, when it did happen, it wasn't a black man. It wasn't a brown man. No. It was a white MAGA. Always committing crimes in America.
Okay, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but
pay attention, everybody.
Weird. 3 minutes after it happened.
Hit the like button. Thank you.
Literally picks up the chair
Listen.
he was on. That's weird. And then less than a week after it happened, they are doing construction on the entire crime scene. That's weird.
That's definitely weird.
And then what's that flash is happening coming from over there? That's weird. Kind of really weird, actually. And why does it go right there and fall? Huh. That's really weird. How is this possible 48 hours later? Explain. Who would be able to physically do this in 48 hours? After that. That's weird. And why does Erica Kirk look more like jdvance than Erica Kirk? That's weird.
Definitely like jdvance.
About this, but we'll stop here. How in the world is there 1, 2, 3 security guys and and more on the other side of the stage, and not a single one of them spot something in black moving on a roof and down when that's their literal job. That's weird. Okay, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but
as I told you guys before, I do not believe that Charlie Kirk's unaliving was done just by a little young college guy. No. It was set up to happen by somebody that's in a higher place, the highest place in America, if you ask me, in my opinion. Charlie Kirk would not keep his mouth closed about the Epstein files. And somebody wants to shut him up. Well, he's been shut up permanently. Yeah. I want to thank y'all for coming to my live. I appreciate each and every last one of y'all. I know Aurora Lake, me and you thinking alike. We're thinking the same thing. Yes. Aurora. Yes. Something ain't adding up. Charlie wouldn't be quiet. Oh, master said, if you don't be quiet, I'm going to shut your mouth, boy. But what he didn't realize, it's smart people in America. We ain't slow. We ain't catch the short bus, baby. No. We know exactly what is going on with the MAGA Republican Party and that White House. They're so full of sin and so full of crime. They buy into their own BS, y'all. Yeah. Well, I want y'all to know I love you. Hit that like button before you leave out, please. God loves you as well. Get some rest, and I will get some rest. If I don't go live tomorrow, I will definitely see you Wednesday. Enjoy your Taco Tuesday. Inspire someone. Make your day about making others smile. Can we do that, y'all? I love y'all. May God continue to bless you, and may you and your loved ones prosper, okay? Y'all take care. Good night. Bye.